Hey, everybody, welcome to Getting Stoked. Before we jump into the episode, I want to introduce our next guest with a song of his. This is the wonderful Justin Moody, and the track that we're going to play is called, let's see, which one do I want to choose? We're going to do Spinning the Wheel. Take it away, Justin.
There's something I need to say in my head now. And it's spinning the wheel, going round and round again. Bringing it to an end, making sense to where it all began. And I know now the truth. What you say is what you do.
We're off. Welcome, Justin.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good.
I'm happy to have you over on the show.
I'm really excited.
Thanks for reaching out. No, you're good. Thank you for reaching out, man. And like, it's funny. I got a bunch of submissions for music to be played on the podcast on the day that you reached out to me, and you didn't even reach out to submit music. You just reached out to say what's up, and we had a little conversation, and then you dropped your music below, and I checked it out, and it was better than any of the submissions that I had gotten that day. And I was like, yeah, that's why I was like, okay, this is happening right now. Like,
thank you.
This dude wasn't even trying to submit his music to me, and it blew me away more than anybody else.
Thank you. I mean, I was trying to.
Well, of course,
I wanted to be on here.
Right.
But yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
but I wasn't
great.
trying to submit it. You know?
Yeah. What
to be secret.
How are you? As far as like influences with you go, I hear a little bit of Mount Erie in there. Is that right?
Ooh.
Is that right to say?
I love Mount Erie.
Yeah.
And I love like Julie Doiron and microphones, and I would definitely like
Moon.
Emotional, Sunkill Moon, Elliott Smith.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like Elliott Smith is the obvious one. That's one of them where I'm like, okay, I don't even need to bring that up.
Yeah, Elliott Smith is just the thing I can talk about the most in every situation.
Right. Well, what happened with him when he do you think he was killed by his girlfriend? What is your opinion on that whole
I would
thing?
say I go back and forth. If it's the summer and like the sun is hitting my head a lot, I'm like, yeah, he definitely was stabbed by her. But if it's the winter, no, I don't know. I think he could have done it, but 2 stab wounds is a lot, and like to go in, out, in.
Yeah,
I like him too much. So
unless he was just
no,
in some kind of like psychosis or something like that. That's a crazy fucking.
True.
It's a crazy story. It's one of those really weird kind of things where same thing with Kurt Cobain, where it's like there's so much probable cause for him to have killed himself based on the content of their lyrics that you're just like, nah, he just killed himself. Case closed. I don't think that Courtney actually killed Kurt, but he is one of those examples where people just kind of like throw to the side any possible other explanation and move, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
But Elliott Smith is fucking great. The first song I heard from him was Los Angeles.
Oh, so good. That was actually, I would say, similar. My buddy showed me Figure 8, and that was like, I didn't like it at first.
Really?
And yeah, I was just like, I don't know. And then I started listening to Roman Candle. And then now, I mean, I love everything. But I was like 13 or 14. So like, I've had a lot of time now.
Right, around that same age.
Everything.
I wasn't into Elliott Smith at that age, but I was into Bright Eyes. I got really into Bright Eyes when I was like 14 or 15.
Me too.
My uncle put on, I think he was trying to give me better taste in music, and he put on Wide Awake It's Morning, and just that first opening at the bottom of everything, like that. The little narrative that he gives, I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. Right, but as soon as the music comes and he jumps into the song, I was so into it, and I just got obsessed with Bright Eyes after that.
I used to, when I had a friend that I met in high school at my first job. I worked at...
Come up on the mic a little bit more. You're good.
I worked at Albertsons, and he worked in the deli, and he's one of my best friends now. And I remember he hated Bright Eyes, but he worked in the deli, and there was like the meat cooler behind there, and I would wait for him to come back there, and I'd be in the freezer, and I'd be like, I'm Connor over in the freezer. And I would just do that all the time, and we would just giggle away.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I got so into Connor Oberst, and I think my favorite album, right, as I got older, my favorite albums changed, but I think it might be Letting Off the Happiness.
See, that I've dove, but I haven't dove that much into that album.
Got it. It's a weird, really raw, very emotionally intense record.
Yeah, I loved Fevers and Mirrors just because of the acoustic guitar. That was just like, I think back then, because I don't listen to much Bright Eyes anymore, but
me either.
I think like back then I just wasn't into anything synthy sounding.
Okay, got it.
It was just all acoustic.
Digital Ash was a weird record for you.
Yeah, but now now like every once in a while I'll go through my crate of CDs and I'll find the CD and then I'll be like driving and I'm just like, oh, wow.
Fevers and Mirrors is great. Halai is such a brilliant song. It's a absolutely genius song. I
think about how sad I thought I was then listening to that compared to how sad I actually am now. And like, then it was nothing, it was like, but that song, I just remember like crying and just being so bummed out. That song is so good.
Yeah, that's how I was with If Winter Ends and Perfect Sonnet. Perfect Sonnet's another one of those songs that really just kind of takes your breath away. Yeah, that's just that C over and over and over again. Yeah, that's a perfect little EP. He's great. He's in that punk band now, right? Los Despacitos or whatever it's called.
I think he was in that forever, but I think or not forever,
but he's been in it for a while.
Yeah, and then they did like a reissue of it, and I like that stuff too, but it was not nearly as much as I like.
No, I'm not really that into it either. He's been kind of throwing out stuff like that recently, but
he's political. He's very political.
He's always been really political.
Yeah.
I like that song. When the President Talks to God.
Yeah. When the President Talks to God.
Yeah. No, that was some good shit, man. I got, you know what though? So after I was in Bright Eyes for a little while, and then I think the next musician who really took me by storm, maybe 2 years later, was Tom Waits.
Oh.
Just wrecked my whole world.
Tom Waits is everything.
Yeah, me too, dude. I feel the same way. He's everything. Yes.
God's away on business.
Yes.
I remember like playing one of our like first shows, and it was me and my buddy.
As Justin Moody? Or
no,
as your own?
This was a band. It was called Vox Populi in high school, and it was me and a few friends, and we played a show, and my buddy had this really cool FJ. Do you remember those like really bright colored Toyota FJs?
Yeah, kinda.
And so he like it was a really bitching car. It was just so much. Like it was, I don't know. It was crazy. But so I remember getting done with the show, and we're just like dancing around his car, just like listening to Tom Waits, like all excited because I was just like, oh my gosh, this is the first show, you know?
Yeah, dude, that's a
big deal.
What an interesting guy to get turned to.
Yeah, for real.
The rain dogs. Dude, I do. I mean, like, there's a couple songs that bang. You could get turned up to like Underground or maybe not Clap Hands, but like Singapore. Singapore is a fucking banger.
Well, yeah, because you just got that,
right.
You know, that back and forth.
30-06 is another fucking good.
Rain Dogs in general is just like, I used to have a shirt. I mean, someone had to have stolen it, but it was like a black and white shirt and had the cover of Rain Dogs on it. And I would never have given that away. So, you know, like now I'm just like, what the fuck happened to that shirt?
I do you feel like the that scene in Fight Club is reminiscent of the album cover for Rain Dogs? Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you seen Fight Club?
I have, and I vaguely remember that he was in that movie. It was like in a bar.
Well, no, not that Tom Waits. I don't know if he's in it.
Or no, the song is in it.
But it might be. But specifically, there's a scene where Edward Norton lays his head against Meatloaf's character, and Meatloaf's character has like huge tits from he had testicular cancer, and the estrogen levels rose and gave him huge tits. And there's a part in the scene, or a part in the movie, where Edward Norton lays his head up against his chest, and I swear to God, it's the exact same thing as the cover of Rain Dogs.
I'd have to. It's been a long time since I watched it.
I gotta fucking
pull it up.
Someone, God damn it! Now there's fucking pop-ups on my computer. My girlfriend was in here earlier, and she said she clicked on a gay porn site for me to open up my computer to, and now it's just pop-up city, just like everywhere. Let's see, Rain Dogs and Fight Club. I'm gonna find right here. See if anyone else caught that. There's got to be somebody on Reddit or something like that noticed. But I'll just type in Fight Club, and I'll show you, and you can make your own decision.
Yeah, let me see.
Bob, because it was Bob had bitch tits.
Which one? Okay, Bob was the one.
Okay, all right. Maybe I'm just remembering it wrong. But doesn't this remind you a little bit of the cover of Rain Dogs?
Oh yeah,
right.
Definitely,
totally,
most definitely.
It's gotta be.
There's a correlation.
There's gotta be a correlation. But oh well.
That guy.
That's all.
Loved Tom Waits.
Yeah, he's one of those guys though that he pops up. You can tell because he doesn't like putting his stuff in movies and whatever. He's like real weird, I guess. About
Tom Waits is.
Yeah,
he does a lot of movies though.
Yeah, but like for a long time. Yeah, he acts in movies, but he doesn't always allow his music to be in movies.
Really?
Yeah, he's real weird about it. He sued. Remember that movie Robots? The kids movie that came out like 15 years ago. There's this movie called Robots, and there's a song that sounds exactly like Underground, and he fucking sued him for it.
Really?
And I think he successfully
Tom
sued
Waits
him.
did.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that.
Right. That's my song. There, I see you're using my song there.
I don't really know.
Yeah. I love his like 1970s interviees that he would give.
My
His real
gosh.
awkward like.
I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy.
Oh man, he was fucking. And you know that he had that line prepared. Like that was all prepared.
But he's just a cat, man.
He's a dad. Like, he's a dad joke connoisseur. That's what he does.
Weird dad.
Yeah, he was on the Late Show. He was on with Letterman, and he was like, "My kids don't let me help them with their homework anymore." He says, "He's like, they said I made up a war once." Oh my God,
that's so funny.
So how did he kind of like? Where were you when you discovered him? Were you writing songs at that time, or were you doing musical things at that time?
Yeah, I started writing my own songs in middle school.
Okay,
and like end of middle school, 8th grade, and had a couple buddies, show me a few chords, and I grew up playing drums, so I just really wanted to play some songs. I was listening to a lot of, I don't know, I can't remember. I wish I could remember what it was, because all I remember is like 4th grade. I really loved like Aretha Franklin, Will Smith.
Wow.
And I'm trying to think of whoever it was. And then it was like sixth grade, got really into Nirvana and like
Of course,
all that
sixth
stuff.
grade comes
Sixth
around.
grade was just, got the studded belt, the big Nirvana shirt. And then somewhere between seventh and eighth, I just was really into like Elliott Smith and Bright Eyes. And so I can't, there has to be a certain person in that,
right.
that was a big jump, but I think it was more the emotional thing that was just like really tied me into it. Like
Same.
Just feeling bummed out and like, or anxious. And
what are some of the songs from that time in your life that every single time you hear them, you immediately fall, like you just go back and it takes you back to being at that age? Because I have a bunch too, like from like 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade. Like that's like some of the most emotionally tumultuous times.
So, I mean, a lot of Elliott Smith, Roman Candle specifically, that album, I just listened to it in bed, going to bed, and like, I really liked Bright Eyes. I mean, right. Bright Eyes was just both Bright Eyes and Elliott Smith were kind of the big ones, and then I really started getting into like post rock kind of stuff, like a really emotional stuff, and like but kind of the more slow stuff like Wendy and Carl. I had a buddy, Jared. He was just really deep into. Still is. Just he makes really beautiful ambient music, and just he showed me bands like the Dead Texan and like Wendy and Carl, and it was just really quiet. And I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that
something about
question
that spoke to you. Something about that
definitely
that quiet kind of low music.
Yeah, just that spoke to me, and I feel like there's a million songs that I just can't think of now.
Definitely,
it's like whenever I'm in the car with my fiance, like I'll be like passing through somewhere, and I know I have the specific feeling, and I'm like trying to come up with the song, and I'm just like, damn it.
You'll catch a scent in the air.
Yeah, definitely. There's that like musky or like whatever it is.
With me, it's winter. Like, that kind of like cold, wet, like feel that you get in the wintertime is what always takes me back to it. And some of those songs are good. Some of those songs are songs that I would stand by today, that I love and that I think I just think are wonderful. But some of them are like Escape the Fate, or like I definitely have some really embarrassing songs in that list.
Yeah, I would say my like it was like grindcore. I had
you got into some like
not enough to know much about it, but it was like I think I was just over listening to just such quiet music that I lived in Prescott. Right. And there were a lot of people like in a grindcore scene and like
in Prescott.
Yeah, Prescott. Yeah, there was I think there was a band called like Hijack the Elephant, and there was a few bands there, but there was actually in Prescott there was a really good crust scene, and like there was a really good folk punk scene.
Oh, I can see that. I've seen them in the square before.
Yeah, like very I don't know. I've met probably some of the most like influential people just playing through Prescott and like seeing shows there, and like that kind of really started like kind of my idea of what I like to do for music and like the DIY scene, and like I don't know.
Prescott's a wild place. My parents live in Dewey.
Okay.
Like, which you're one of the only people who probably would know who that is because you lived in the area.
You gotta know Dewey.
Right. So they live just on a mountain in Dewey,
really?
Like one of those houses, just like there's like a bunch of it's like kind of a neighborhood, I guess. Like they have neighbors.
So it's off the 69, or is
yes,
it? Okay,
exactly. It's right. It's off the 69, like up the hill by the little gas station and shit that's right there. There's just like houses that you go up just a dirt mountain, and there's like houses on either side, and they just live up on a mountain.
Did you live there growing up?
No, they just moved out there a few years ago.
How do they like it?
They love it.
Yeah.
They fucking love it.
Well, you can see the stars.
It's crazy out there.
You can breathe beautifully.
Dude, it's crazy. Yeah, I know. I grew up in Ohio, and then I moved out here when I was 15. I'm okay, actually. I'm not. Yeah. No cigarettes in here, but we'll go outside a little bit. No, you're good. Don't worry about it. Like weed, yes. Cigarettes,
okay.
No. No, yeah. Fucking Dewey is. It's crazy. It's so dark at night. It's really
it's really dark, and
I would love to play songs out there, like perform or just record music.
Well, it's only an hour and a half away.
Right.
It's just like, and there's really cool spots like Dewey. I mean, some of the forest roads. Mm-hmm. I mean, anywhere. Like it's insane that from where we live, within 30 minutes, you could be like a good chunk of your way onto like a really great forest road, whether you're going to like Prescott, Flagstaff, or like the Superstition Mountains.
Right.
Like anywhere around.
It's crazy.
It's or the White Tanks. I mean, I don't know.
I know, like, it's nuts.
But Dewey, I love Dewey. I remember growing up, my dad, before we lived up there, we would go up there pretty much every weekend. And we were in the car, and I think it was with my older sister Ashley and her friend, and we were passing through Dewey, and she's like, "Who's Dewey?" Because like how every business has Dewey like in front of it. Like, who's Dewey? My dad just like
got capital, man.
He's got everything here. Barbershop, yeah, trailer company, whatever it is, realty business. Like,
well, that's how the comedian Doug Stanhope is in Bisbee.
Mm-hmm.
He lives in Bisbee, and he owns a bunch of real estate down there, and he's just like a real estate mogul in this tiny little piece of forgotten land in Arizona.
I always hear about that. Like, I always hear about that on podcasts that I'm listening to. Like, it always comes up as like, oh yeah, Doug Stanhope is in Bisbee, and like, what the fuck is he doing in Bisbee? But
that's
like,
where I heard
Bisbee's
the information
pretty
from.
bitchin'. Like,
I've never been there. I've never. It's crazy that I've never been there before.
It's been a long time, but I know like they've got a music festival. Yeah, Side Pony, and like, I mean, I have a lot of friends that will go down there and gig and stuff, and like, I don't know, it seems cool, but I remember being there when I was a little kid. And I feel like I dig it now,
Yeah. No, yeah, dude. Absolutely. Now, when it comes to your recording process, like how did you record this most recent album?
For
the one that came out this year.
For Bruiser. Yeah. That one I did by myself, and I've been
Sounds really good.
Thank you. I had someone master it.
Right.
It was a buddy of mine, and he's out in Maryland. Somewhere around there, and but he mastered it. But I got an 8-track, and I've never done any of that, and it was just what I had after a year and a half, and I moved away, and I had a lot of stuff happen in that time, and so I had enough that I was like, oh shit, like there's a ton on here. What can I pick through here? And like, I don't know. I'm really stoked about that one, but I'm also like I'm excited to release what I have like that I'm working on, because I'm really into recording recently, and like
I love recording.
It's fucking rad. Like I don't know. I've never been part of that process, so like doing it by myself and doing it at home and like being super comfortable, and that's kind of what that album was.
It's just what it sounds like. It sounds like you're very comfortable.
Hot dog.
What who do you have someone doing clarinet? Is that clarinet on is that Spinning the Wheel that's on, or is that Motorcycle?
No, he did. That was I believe it was clarinet. It was either, I can't remember the song now, but it's either alto or clarinet, but the boom boom boom.
Right.
Yeah. That's my buddy Alex Young, and
it sounds wonderful. I was like, damn.
He's killer. He's a really great jazz musician, and we've been friends since we were in 3rd grade. So we have that blood harmony kind of thing when it comes to playing together. And
right. He's
killer. He's a great musician.
So what do you do? I guess when it comes to playing shows, do you prefer to play like houses and stuff like that, like with your kind of homey feel?
Definitely. I mean, I would say a couple of years ago. So when I moved down here from Prescott, I was playing a lot of shows at Crescent, and like, I don't know what really happened, other than I think I just kept getting more anxious, and I kind of like just lost friends, and like I mean, I don't know. I think that kind of separated me, but I've always loved house shows. That's what I did in Prescott, and like I love house shows. I love Lost Leaf. I love Trunk Space.
Trunk Space for sure.
Trunk Space is great, and house shows are my favorite.
Right.
I'd like to play more venues and stuff, but I'm not very good at reaching out about my stuff. So like,
gotcha. You gotta get a guy.
I don't know. It's kind of, like, that's why it's kind of so weird for me. Is like, I'm always on time. I'm late to your podcast. I reached out to you, and like, I don't know. I was like, I was pretty excited. I don't know. I listened to a lot of podcasts, and so like,
yeah, me too.
Hearing friends and stuff on your podcast.
Right. Who was it that you heard on the show that you know?
I know Ryan. I know
Sweetest.
Trevor and
Great.
Robbie.
All the guys like this, like these are the people who are like doing shit like, in the music scene.
And even with that, like I don't know, it's just cool. Like I think I mentioned it in like my email I sent to you. Like it's just cool that I'm hearing other people that I've never heard before.
Right,
you know, like
right.
I've never listened to American Standards, but I like listened to that and I enjoyed it. You know what
Brandon's
I mean?
the best.
It's nice to like listen to something and hear about it local because I'm not the best at getting out and like doing that.
Definitely. I'm not either.
I want to be better.
I'm terrible. I don't go to shows ever. Everyone gives me shit. I don't go to shows. And
where do you prefer to go though? Like if you go to a show, like where do you want to go?
Like if it's a venue?
Yeah.
I want to go to. Oh, let's see. I like pub rock. Okay. I like Trunk Space is okay, but I like to get alcohol. So I would say like pub rock is cool. I don't like Rebel because there's not really anything I can do in Rebel if I'm not just standing there watching the band, and the parking lot sucks.
Yeah, so the parking lot sucks, and like the standing in the front. I like Rebel because Gren,
yeah, of course.
Gren,
I mean, the people are there. Steve is
Rebel
amazing. I love Steve.
Definitely. Gren makes it for me though. If it weren't for Gren, and like Steve is a really nice guy, and you know, it has a cool vibe, and you know, it's like, oh, it's a mason jar, you know, that's cool,
right?
But I don't know, Gren's a fucking sweetheart.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. I love that spot, but I'm so ADHD that. That's why I like pub rock. I can go. I can fucking like play pool. I can hang out. Like I can do all different kinds of different stuff. So I mean, I like to see shows at pub rock. I like to see shows at Crescent. Obviously, is really cool. Yeah, just kind of like the standard stuff. House shows are really cool too. I like really big bills at house shows. Yeah, like really crazy like 5-6 band bills of bands I've never heard of.
Yeah, hell yeah. House shows are fucking great. Everything about them, you know. Seeing people and like meeting people, and I mean you're in someone's house, so you know, like it's just kind of groovy, you know.
Yeah, it was amazing.
There's not a lot of people that do them though anymore.
Yeah, it's getting harder and harder to find.
I'm just older, and I'm not like part of like a young hip crowd that like. Maybe
that's it. Maybe I'm in the same boat. Maybe I'm just.
We're just fucking old.
How old are you? I'm 25.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
You're fucking old.
It's fucking. How old are you?
26.
Oh. Yeah, man, 25. Do you ever? I'm sure that you get this all the time, but do you ever hear people tell you that you look like Brian Sella?
No, I don't know who that is.
Oh, really?
No, I always get. What's that one guy? Vince Vaughn. I don't even fucking get that. Like, I look at that guy and I'm like, oh, that don't look like.
It's just the hair,
Vince
I guess. I don't know.
Oh gosh.
No, he's the singer of the Front Bottoms.
Oh, okay.
There's something about you that has a Front Bottoms vibe to it. I don't know what it is.
Cool.
Front Bottoms is like they're great. I can't tell. I can never tell if I absolutely love them or if I like them, and I really can't tell. I've been to like 3 or 4 of their shows because it's like my girlfriend is obsessed with them. Yeah. And I wonder how much I would be obsessed with them.
I've seen
if we weren't dating.
Oh.
I don't know. Like I got her into them because
right.
I always dabbled. I dabbled enough to know that she would be into them.
Well, they're catchy. You know what I mean? Catchy. And like I saw them live at the Rhythm Room, I think.
No. Oh yeah.
It was
a while ago. That was a long time ago.
It had to have been 5 years ago or something.
Right.
Like
I remember hearing about that show.
It was actually really good. I liked it live, and I like some of their stuff. I don't know. I'm like on the fence with them. It would be like if I'm feeling it, I could definitely listen. What's that one song? You were
Peach,
yeah,
right.
And it's probably their fucking most popular song. They don't like that song.
They like never play it live, and I think that's what it is. I think
really?
They're just sick of it. Yeah,
I don't want to play that shit.
I hate that. That happens. Like that'll happen with a band. Like one of my favorite bands of all time is Foxy Shazam, and they have a song that because they recorded the music video for it, they played the song like 13 times. They played the song for like 13 hours at like just like for the music video. They just played this. They had to keep playing the same song for like a 12 to 13 hour music video shoot
because they were just like filming.
Yeah. They were filming the music video, and they just had to get all these different shots. And they spent all day playing the song, so they never played it live. After that, and
who are they? I've heard that name.
Foxy Shazam. Yeah, they're not a band anymore, but they were just like a really wild rock and roll soul band, I guess, from like really eccentric and out there band from Cincinnati who were doing really well in the early 2010s.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the name sounds really familiar.
Well, and their singer Eric Nolly is he's in a couple Macklemore songs on the new Macklemore record. Okay. He's in Downtown and a couple others. So he's been kind of popping up lately.
Cool.
But I've been following them since I was a kid. So as far as like you're talking about doing a little like house show road trip tour, right?
Yeah, so maybe I don't even know. Time is crazy. It must have been a month ago. I like made like an Instagram story about like, hey, let me play your house, and quite a few people hit me up, and it was nice because I kind of want to do it in a way. Well, so far it's been, someone wants to host me, then host me, and then let's, if there's 10 people, there's 3 people, there's 15 people, whatever it is, 1,000 people. I don't know. I just want it to kind of be up to them. But I just kind of want to. It was nice because a lot of them weren't people that were musicians. And that was nice because I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of get tired of just hanging out with musicians.
Really?
Totally.
Totally. Fuck 'em. I guess I don't really. I love being around creative people, man.
No, I love creative people, but if they're just musicians, I don't know. None of my friends are really just musicians, but I don't know.
No,
I don't know
get
what
that.
I'm saying.
No, you're good. I get that. Fucking God, they're just fucking
idiots.
obsessed with themselves all the time.
Oh,
God damn.
gosh.
I don't think there's a single person I know who's a lead singer who I don't kind of hate. I have so many of my really close friends are singers in a band, like not just like solo musicians, but like the front men of a band.
Yeah.
And I hate all of them. I fucking can't stand any of them. Like they're my best friends, but I just want to hit them with a truck.
There's just
like,
a cattiness about them.
Yeah. Like nobody cares about you nearly as much as you do. But I love them for that too. Like it's just crazy, man. Before I started this podcast, I didn't really have a lot of friends. Like I had. Before I was in the band that I was in, which is why any of this exists in the first place, I had like one friend, like 1 or 2 friends. I wouldn't do anything. I would be at my house. I'd be writing and smoking weed and going to work and not really doing anything else. Making mixtapes. Like I would make mixtapes all the time because I would get so bored and so depressed, and but I had no outlet. So I was like, okay, I need to be creative. I need to be productive. So I would take all my vinyl and make like actual mixed cassettes, and I would just do that all night long, get really high and alone. and then I joined Phantom Party, and everything kind of way opened up. All of a sudden, I'm talking to people all the time, and I'm hanging out with people I normally wouldn't all the time. And then before you know it, like now I'm just like. I just have people around me all the time. It's a beautiful thing for me though. But I'm an extrovert. I get like charged by being around other people.
Yeah.
I don't really have I have really bad anxiety issues, but like not social anxiety, which is really really like I feel happy about that.
Definitely.
But
I just feel like I'm an extrovert and I hate it.
Really?
Like I want to be introverted. But I'm just constantly making plans.
It's that. Do you feel like do you just feel obligated all the time to hang out with people?
Yeah, definitely. I'm a yes person.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
I see.
I'm always early. So like on the way here, I'm going to keep bringing this up. On the way here, I'm just like sweating fucking bullets. And like I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm 30 minutes late.
I've done that on like the first day of work before. Dude, check this out. My first day on the job working for a school, I was late and I cut off a school bus to get no, it wasn't even cut off. The school bus had stopped and its sign was like open to stop, and I just blew around him anyway, on my way to work at a school. That shit sucks, man.
You could have killed a kid.
No, it was a main road. Plus, I think they were high schoolers. If you're a high schooler, it's not my fault.
Right, yeah.
Like it's like there shouldn't high schools should not have school zones. Like high schools should not have school zones. If you're old enough to be in high school, you should know how to cross the fucking street.
Right.
Like
you know how to smoke a cigarette, you know how to cross the fucking street.
Right.
You know how to drink a beer, you know how to cross the street.
You know how to lie to your parents.
Right.
Lie to all your friends and girls who to make you feel attractive.
Definitely.
Like you can cross the street. But yeah, man, like what was high school like for you?
It's pretty funny. I don't know. I enjoyed it because so my parents divorced, and so my mom lived down in Phoenix, and I made most of my friends down in Phoenix, and then I moved to Prescott when I was in middle school. So high school, was kind of halfway. I was coming down here and playing music, and then up there, I just really got to experience, being able to drive around. And like it was in, I don't know, a lot of hillbillies, which
there's a lot of hill people up there.
Yeah, and there's some good ones and there's some bad ones.
Definitely.
And there's some good food to be had. And I don't know, Prescott was just a funny place to grow up. There wasn't a lot of, I had this big like stigma of like, no one knows what I'm going through, and like no one knows the music I'm listening to because it's just
so
like
fucking edgy, man.
Yeah, but
do you even know who Rocky Erickson is?
Yeah, but I dressed like an old man, so it just I didn't really show myself creatively by the way I dressed. I wasn't very expressive with myself, like, so that was nice. I was very introverted, and then I feel like after high school I got a little more extroverted.
How so?
I just started seeing people, like I started going out and like, just, I don't know. I really love talking to people. So sometimes I'm shitty at it and whatever, but like, I don't know. I just kind of realized that I really like to have like a routine and, I can stop there because I know someone there, you know, and like, I'm going to have a conversation with them, or like, I feel pretty comfortable about myself today. So I'm going to do this. And,
I do. That's how I am. There'll be days where I definitely freak people out at work because I'll be at work most of the time. Most of the time, I don't want to really talk to anybody aside from my little crew of friends who I hang out with and whatever. And I'm very insular. When I'm not hanging out with any of the friends that I have there, I'm most likely listening to something by myself. Like if I'm not like working.
Yeah. What do you do?
So I work for a contact center, kind of. Basically, I do customer support for a company, but like only through like text and emails and Twitter and stuff. Okay. So I get to listen to music all day long.
Hot dog.
It's fucking awesome.
That's cool.
Right. So when I'm not sitting at my desk and I'm hanging out with friends or whatever, I'm usually by myself. But every once in a while, I'm just like, man, I'm feeling pretty good today. I'm just going to go over and talk to this dude who I've had like 2 conversations with, who's definitely does not have any idea that I'm going to come talk to him. I'm like, hey, man, what's up? And like sit next to him and shit. And they're like, oh, hey, what's going on? I know, it's very weird. It's kind of arrogant, though. It's very much like I talk to people on my terms, I guess. It's kind of weird. Like, if you come up to me and I'm not really in the mood to talk, then I'll kind of motherfuck you a little bit. Yeah. Like, not in a, like, I'm not in a cold shoulder kind of way, but I don't really give a lot of open-ended answers. And, like, I try not to be shitty, but, like, there's a few people where they come up to, most people come up to me no matter what. I'm going to like want to hang out and talk to you. But there's a few people where I'm just like, I don't really know you. I don't really care to talk now.
I can't put my effort into that now.
Right. So I'm just like, I spent all day at my desk listening to music. I'm exhausted.
Fuck, you don't know what my playlist was like.
Oh, dude, being able to do this, my Spotify playlists have like tripled. Like, really? I already had a lot of playlists.
Do you just get a lot of recommendations from people on the podcast, or what do you mean by that?
Yeah, well, by listening. I just create so many playlists because I'm able to listen to music all day. So they're all in folders now. I have like all these folders and stuff inside the folders. I'm really excited. My whole thing for 2018 was to listen to as many albums as possible. And originally it was 300. I want to listen to 300 albums throughout the course of 2018. And as of right now, as of this recording, I think it's like 680 something.
Ooh.
So I'm going to get to 700 by the end of the year. Shit. I know. So, but that's
congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I've
worked very hard.
Do you feel like you know a lot of shit now?
For this year, yes.
Yeah.
You could ask me a lot about most musicians who have released music this year, and I'll have an answer for you.
Are you have you been like that? Like, are you, because we were talking earlier, like, you hear a song from a certain time. Like,
right,
have you always been really documented?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I've always been really documentative about the music that I listen to. And
hell yeah. I think everybody is. I'm just prideful. So. I'm prideful on that fact. I'm like, yeah, I know.
You'd be surprised how many fucking Muppets are out there who don't even know the artist of their favorite song. Like, there's a lot of people out there who are like, I know, it's the truth. There's a lot, and I'm just like, dude, I know what album that's on. I know what year that came out. I know who produced that fucking thing. Like, get your shit together. Like, I can't stand when people are like, oh, that's my favorite band, and they know 3 songs. I know it's so fucking petty, and not everybody is as passionate about music as I am. But come on, they can't be. Just say you don't have a favorite band. If there's not a single band who you know more than 3 songs by, it's cool. You just don't listen to music. It's fine.
Right.
You're just a
get another
kind of
hobby.
Right. I'm sure you're really good at like binge watching Netflix or something.
Yeah.
But like.
Do you think you're gonna have to edit this podcast a lot because of the amount of times that I just cackle?
No, I don't edit at all.
Oh,
I don't edit. Yeah, no, not at all.
It always sounds great. I'm just worried because I'm like,
no, you're good. There's an episode I did with Calabrese, who were like one of my favorite bands growing up, and their fucking drummer every single time he has like the loudest laugh you've ever heard in your life.
Really?
And like every single time anyone would say something, he would just like blare his laugh into the microphone. No, I mean I've had some interesting moments on this show with stuff like that. Like Sean Rooney, who is in Erico and Consumer. He got like really drunk I had his band Erico on, and he got really drunk at one point. He starts just like banging on the fucking shit.
Oh
and,
my
like,
gosh.
singing like some like communist like song in Russian. It's fucking ridiculous. But I like that shit. I like when it gets weird, kooky and wild and shit like that. I got so fucking high on one of the last episodes that I did that I could barely see. I have no idea how that's gonna sound.
You're just swimming through the clouds,
dude. Me and there's this comedian Bubba McComb is his name, and he came over and he brought this giant, huge blunt. And one of these he left me blunt wraps. He said he's a blunt wrap connoisseur.
Oh,
so
shit.
he's like, these are the best blunt wraps you could possibly get. He was very, very passionate about it.
Game. Right.
So, we smoked.
Vega.
We smoked an entire blunt in one go, and we were just on a whole nother planet.
That sounds terrifying.
It's terrible. Have you ever heard like what are some of the podcasts that you listen to?
Oh man, so I loved Cocaine and Rhinestones. The season. Have you heard that?
No, what is that?
Oh, dude, you're gonna love it. It's the history of the 20th century country music, and
what?
I'm gonna text you in a week and be like, thank you so much for letting me be on this podcast, and then you're gonna be like, thank you so much for Cocaine and Rhinestones. Like,
I love country music.
Yeah, you're gonna love it. I love that, and I'm highly anticipating season 2. But I love Bill Burr.
He's great.
Holy shit! Like I don't know. I love his podcast. I love that. I've been listening to it. I haven't watched F is for Family.
Fuck me up, dude. It's so good.
Is it?
Yes, it's so good.
I need to watch it.
It's him like playing his dad, basically. And it takes place in the 70s.
I love him. I don't know. I don't know how to explain my
funny
love for
thing
him.
with Bill Burr. So my girlfriend and I went up to Payson, and we have this crazy campsite that we camp at that's in the middle of nowhere. It's not a real campsite. And it's off of some like access road in the middle of nowhere in Payson. It's like on your way to Young. It's like there's this giant stretch of nothingness, and we camp out there like 2 hours away from any kind of power source. And so we're out there, and I'm terrified. Oh, yeah. Right. It's just like there's a sign out front of the road that we go off of that says like enter at your own risk. It's not maintained by the government whatsoever.
Isn't that just so appetizing?
Dude,
you're just like, yes, sounds good.
So we went out there. The first night we went out there, we heard people talking on our walkie-talkie frequency. That was fucking terrifying.
What were they saying?
They were like checking the walkie, so I'm assuming there must have been some campers who bought the same REI fucking walkie-talkies as we did, but that was terrifying.
That's weird, though.
Well, but I think it's more scary for them because...
Did you guys say something?
Well, because me and my girlfriend heard, I was also fucking stoned as shit. And it's black as night out there, and we couldn't have a fire because it was, you know what? I think that time we were allowed to have a fire.
Okay.
But we're hanging out, and I'm just baked out of my mind, and we hear like, checking 1, 2, 3, 4, and we both just, oh my God. And then we pick it up, and we wait. And then right when we think it's not going to happen again, we hear another checking 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's a slightly different cadence, so you know it's not a recording. Like it's someone. So Alicia picks up the walkie and goes, hello, like that. So now from our end, it was scary. But imagine being a camper who just hears like this woman's voice over the walkie-talkie.
Yeah, and you're thinking all kinds of shit out in the middle of nowhere. You're just like, what the fuck?
I think because they're like, there are no women folk out here.
Yeah, no, this is all men out here.
Dude, like she just, and it sounded so like innocent and like, oh. So and then they never spoke again after that. I think they probably switched frequencies. But
like
on Bill
channel
Burr,
change.
right, on Bill Burr, we went back again with one of our friends, and we're sleeping in the tent, or she's sleeping in the tent. I can't sleep because I'm terrified that every single twig break is bare, and we're gonna get fucked up.
Yeah.
And I'm just like freaking out. But I had a bunch of Bill Burr episodes downloaded on my phone, so I stayed up that entire night in my tent listening to
just him yelling and like, but just doing like his weird voices and just like, I don't know, he's so genuine.
Just like he's just yelling about baseball and airplanes and shit. Just like it was just keeping me. I was just like laying it on my face, like in the tent, just like terrified.
I don't know anything about sports, and I still love his podcast.
Same here.
It's just like, all right, you do that. Even his ads are like enjoyable, you know, like zip, recruiter, you know, like
man, that's how when I get ads, I'm gonna do it the same way where it's not recorded. I'm gonna just kind of do them every time, you know.
Does that? I mean, what does that entail? I mean, that I'm sure this could be a whole other podcast, but like starting a podcast, like what does it entail? That like what do you need to have advertisers
to get sponsors?
Yeah.
The hustle to reach out to people and, you know, offer them what you can, and just, you know, your listen rate and stuff like that, like how much attention you get and what you can bring to them and stuff like that. And I did have a sponsor once, but he was like super small, so he had to pull his funding from the show, which totally makes sense. Shout out to Cope Notes. Cope Notes is still the shit. I love Cope Notes. Cope Notes was a thing. I think it's still around, but they it's an online app that sends you text messages every day with like positive affirmations in them, but you don't know what time you're going to get them. So just like randomly throughout the day, you get a little message that's like cool. Something to help push you, you know, make you feel better and stuff like that. So cool. I loved that. I loved having them a part of the show, but he had to pull out and do other shit. He's in a band called Prison, who are pretty popular too. They're touring a lot.
They're from here?
No, I have no idea where they're from. Yeah, I think he's from. I don't even know. I hit him up. I found his service on Instagram. It's a lot of stuff like that. Just finding people's businesses and services. I'm gonna start doing that. I should go on Instagram and just follow the handle like small business support small businesses or something, and just hit them all up. Yeah, definitely. But it's hard because you don't want to look like one of those spam bullshit you get all the time on Instagram. Yeah. Definitely. Bandcamp sends a lot of that stuff. Yeah, it does. Oh my gosh. What do you so what's your like goal, like with as far as music goes? Like what do you want out of it? I just want to keep recording. At this point, like I want to keep recording. I want to tour again. And where'd you tour last time? I went with Them Savages. Did you ever hear them? I've heard that name before. Fucking amazing. Also a really great friend of mine. But we went to Denver, then New Mexico. Then we went back to Tucson. Then we went to California. And we were going to go to Nevada, but I think I was being grumpy or something. Mm-hmm. I can't remember. Something happened along that line. But all of our merch was ruined. So... yeah, that's a crazy story. The first night of the tour, they lived in Flagstaff, and so we were going to Denver for the first night, and so it was a long drive. And we got up to Flagstaff, me and my buddy Jim, and we picked them up, and we put all the stuff on the car, put it on the top, and we're going down I-40, and all of a sudden we just go, psh, and we look back, and there goes all my tapes I just made. This is the first merch I ever made. All my tapes, and I just see a car, like a semi-truck, run it over, and it looked like glitter in the fucking air, because it was nighttime, so it's glitter in the air, and luckily, like, their shirts were salvageable, and, like, most of the tapes were broken. I still had the master tape, so we got, later on in the tour, I didn't have any merch for the first, I think it was the first 4 shows, and then we were in Temecula at this place called The Dial,
and it was like it was like an all ages DIY venue, and they had a tape duplicator, and so we were able to like duplicate some more tapes, and like
that is a lucky break.
it was awesome. I mean, like it was kind of a trip. And
what were you driving in?
we were driving in, he had a Jeep Compass or something. So
Okay,
there was
got it.
no fucking room.
Right.
And the shit was on the top. And like that day in Denver, the first trip, I just had like this huge panic attack, and I left everybody, and I was like walking around Denver, and I was just like, I can't believe this. The first merch I've ever had, gone. My first tour I've ever been on, gone. I don't have any tour. I was just like such a bummer. And then it ended up being just like an amazing time.
Yeah, dude. I went on a tour once, and the first day I lost my wallet.
Oh.
Like in a fucking bathroom, I lost my wallet, and then the second day I fell into the ocean with my phone in my pocket, and my phone was ruined for the rest of the run. And I had to talk to my girlfriend on a Nook that I had, but it wasn't like
Nook.
Like the Amazon or the Barnes and Noble
like
Nooks.
the tablet thing,
right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't one of the nice new ones.
Yeah,
it was like an old
awful.
black and white shitty one.
Yeah.
So,
you fell
rough.
into the ocean.
Yeah, I just.
What? Were you walking in the waves and then?
Yeah, man. I was just walking on the water, and then I lost faith. No, we were in Corona Del Mar in California, and there's like these giant boulders that you can walk on that take you just into the middle of the ocean, basically.
Okay.
Like you're not really supposed, like you can walk on them if you want to, like kind of at your own risk type of thing, and people get photos and stuff like that
If you're
on
a
them.
thrill seeker,
Right? Right. So like me and the band are walking on the rocks, and we got some super cool photos on the rocks. And
yeah.
I ran to the very, 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 very edge, and on the very end of this long thing, there's like a cement square with a big tall lookout tower on it. So I was on the square, but there were like three, maybe like two other rocks on the other end of the square.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I want to be there. I want to be on the very end. I want to sit on the rocks at the very, very end of this long pier.
Yeah.
And just kind of like have a Titanic moment by myself.
Yeah. Spread your arms open and just feel, air out the pits.
That was the plan. That was the plan. And I got to sit down, and I slid on some moss, and I just fell in. And it was fucking cold. And I climbed back up, and I cut my hands open on the rocks coming back up. And none of my friends saw me because they were still way back. I ran ahead.
Bogus.
So they were all back. So they had no idea I fell. If I would have fallen and drowned, no one would have found out. No one would hear. There's no way for them to have seen or heard me.
Yeah.
So they just see me reemerge soaking wet. My hands are bleeding. And my phone is working.
Yeah.
And then I set it down, and I take everything out of it to get it to air dry, and it was just fucked by the time I picked it. And what's even worse than that is my girlfriend bought me a waterproof case to take on the trip, and I forgot it.
Jabroni.
Dude, it was bogus. So, yeah, man, tour, that's what happens.
Yeah.
You got to get burnt a few times.
Yeah, you got to go with the hard knocks.
On the road. You got to play to no one 3/4 of the time.
Definitely, yeah.
Especially your first couple runs. I always tell young bands, for your first couple runs, you need to just look at it as going on vacation with guitars.
Yeah.
Like, don't look at it as anything more than that. Like, because you're going for the experience. You're not going to make money or anything like that.
I've only been once, but I've played a lot of out-of-state shows. And, like, New Mexico, I have a lot of friends that lived out there. And in California, I had a few friends that lived out there. So it was a lot of trips like that. But, yeah, I'm jonesing, I would love to just go and tour again.
Yeah, man. Get out of there. Get out of here. Do it.
Adios.
Yeah, man. So what are your plans for this upcoming record?
Well, it's a lot. I mean, I've got a lot of stuff recorded. I started sending stuff over to my buddy to master, the same guy who did Bruiser. But I don't know. So my buddies, they run Moon Records, and it's Caleb and Micah Daly, and I'm a terrible name dropper. I'm just like, I'll say my buddies, and then I'll be like, Caleb and Micah
Good.
Daly.
No, do it.
But anyways, I don't know. I really love their label, and I love them, and they're extremely hardworking, and just also amazing and very creative. And I don't know. I don't know what I think. I don't know if I'm going to self-release it or if I'm going to ask them if they want to put it out or I don't know. I don't really know. I'm having a lot of fun recording right now, and I've got a lot of stuff recorded. And
So that's what you're doing right now is you're recording it?
yeah, kind of.
Back and forth, just kind
Back
of.
and forth.
Yeah.
I'm kind of just so I just got engaged and I just moved to a new place and I just started a whole new line of work that is completely different than what I've always done.
Hell
So
yeah,
it's
man.
been
That's good.
It's been months of like awesomeness, you know.
That's
like,
what it sounds like.
It's, you know, getting engaged was just like
Throw the Elliott Smith records away.
yeah, I don't need those anymore. No, luckily she loves Elliott Smith too, so we can
That's good.
sit and listen.
Oh fuck, that's some good shit, man. I heard a song recently that I didn't even know was originally him. Someone covered one of his songs that I liked, and I didn't even realize that it was a cover of an Elliott Smith song. But now I can't fucking remember what that song was. I'm assuming I'm assuming it's a popular song. Otherwise, like I wouldn't have heard it wherever.
Yeah.
I think I heard it in the store or something. Let me see if I can remember.
To answer your question though about the album, I think I'm gonna
Baby Britain. Sorry.
Oh, great fucking! Oh, wait, did you hear the Bayside cover?
Yeah.
I went through a Bayside phase. That was like a couple weeks where like I had a buddy and I sat
They're
next
great,
to him on the
man.
bus. He fucking loved them, and we just like listened to them on the bus and the headphones. And I don't know what was that song.
Devotion and Desire.
It was. I think it was. Is that the album name?
No, that's it's off the self-titled record. There's
Blame it on bad luck.
Oh yeah, Blame It on Bad Luck. That's on the same record. It's on the self-titled record.
That would be a song that would take me back to like freshman year of high
Right,
school.
dude.
Like I was but I love their cover of Baby Britain.
Yeah, it's cute. It's a great
Yeah.
little cover.
Yeah.
Like I knew that it was a cover, but I never knew who the cover was. And then I was I think it was like somewhere weird, like Raising Cane's or like a department store or something, and I heard Baby Britain, but I heard a different version, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's who." And I heard in the voice, and I was like, "Okay." So two things are happening right now. One thing is happening where I'm hearing a song that I've heard before, and another thing is happening where I'm hearing an artist that I definitely know. But these two things are not related.
Yeah.
I don't know the song from this artist, and so yeah, the pieces came together, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude, Elliott Smith." He just got that timbre that's so unique. I feel like it's more unique and more wholesome than Connor Oberst's is, because I feel like Connor has a little bit of an affectation. Like I feel like that shakiness in his voice is a little bit of an affectation.
Yeah,
because I've heard him not do it before.
Well, it seems like the newer records aren't as shaky.
Right.
And so I don't know.
Maybe he just grew out of it.
Maybe he grew out of it, or maybe he was just like super anxious or something. Or
Right.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I wonder if he just plays that a little. I wonder if he
Yeah,
plays that card a little bit.
A little bit.
Just to stay in the pocket, to stay in the
I'm
emo
in a
boy pocket.
freezer.
Right. Like he was on there. Have you seen that amazingly awkward interview with Craig Ferguson that he did? He did an interview. He played Road to Joy on the Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson, and then he went on and talked to him afterwards, and they were talking about his influences, and he was talking about Leonard Cohen. Yeah. And they both just kind of silently were like, "It's very sad." And Connor's like, "Yeah, it's very sad." And he's like, And they're both just kind of like awkwardly, quietly reminiscing the sadness of Leonard Cohen. It's really funny. Craig Ferguson was my favorite. He is my all-time favorite talk show host.
Really?
Fucking absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely. He was such a purist.
What about it? Okay, yeah.
Like he definitely was. Like he would sit down with a guest, and then he would like ceremoniously rip up the questions that he had for them and throw them behind him every show. Like people don't always see or realize what that is. Like people will see, because he's not doing it anymore, but people see those old episodes, and like as he's announcing the guest, you see him rip up paper and throw it behind him, and it's just kind of like a trademark thing that he does. That's him ripping up the questions because he wants it to be as much of a conversation as possible. That's fucking madness for a late night show.
Yeah,
that's
definitely
very, very, very weird for a late night show.
Yeah.
So,
well, what is he doing now? Because like
he's doing stand up.
Did you know Conan has a podcast now?
No, but I believe that.
Yeah,
Coco.
I was hearing. Well, yeah, that whole TBS, that Coco thing really went hard.
Yeah, it did.
Like, that was like, I remember just seeing ads on that like everywhere.
Right.
I mean, it just. Yeah. What is Craig Ferguson doing now?
I think he's just doing podcasts. Or
He
I'm
is?
not sorry, not podcasts. I think he's just doing stand up.
Oh, okay.
He released a special last year, and
Was it good?
it was all right. I was never a huge fan of his stand up. I liked his monologues that he would give at the top of shows because they were like sometimes they were cheesy and stuff. But I don't know. With Craig, it always just seemed like this seems like the real true like comedian guy who has a late night show who is very. He's a deep character. I mean, his autobiography is phenomenal. Just
Really?
He was a raging alcoholic for an extremely long time.
Huh.
And he was in a punk band, and like
Really?
he has a very, very interesting backstory. And when he got the call to he had no idea, he had not think he was going to get the late show, and he ended up getting it. And like it's just crazy. He just always seemed like the guy where it's like almost like an everyman kind of a deal. Like this is the Scottish everyman who just became the late show host.
Well, how did
for
he get
a
the
decade.
late night? Because I feel like
He
I
auditioned.
never hear about his stand up.
He auditioned.
Was he doing stand up or
Yeah.
anything?
Yeah, he was doing stand up at that time, and he was in movies. But like he had
Really?
little roles. He had little roles in movies, but nothing was really taken seriously.
Yeah.
And
Because I feel like everybody that's liked him that I know is like tried and true.
Right.
Like Ferguson, like he's just really
he's one of
great.
those guys.
Yeah, like
I'm one
he's
of 'em.
very, if you like him, you fucking like him.
Because there's some, like, I think, and like I said, he's kind of like the Bruce Springsteen. He's like the Scottish Bruce Springsteen of late night. Like he's just kind of like your very, very sweet, but somewhat like edgy and offensive. And he can be here and there. He's an intellectual too. Like you'll hear him having these ridiculous interviews with someone like Bryan Cranston or some A-list actor, and he'll be like, and he'll make some Dostoevsky reference where he'll just be like, oh, that's very Raskolnikovian, and he'll start talking about like Crime and Punishment and shit. Like it's great, but then he'll goof on himself to keep it like, I don't know. He just has this very special. He has this very special candor about him that I always just thought was brilliant. So when he stepped away from late night, I was happy about that, and I was very proud of him just because he was like, I'm done. Like I'm done. I'm stepping back, getting away from it.
Yeah.
So I respect that. Same way with Ricky Gervais in The Office, like with the British Office.
Does he have a talk show now? Or no, wait, who's the
No.
British guy that has the talk show? The British comedian. He had that show about the other guy with muscular dystrophy.
Oh yeah. That's Australian guy. That's
he's
Jim
Australian.
Jeffries.
Oh, shit.
Jim Jeffries. I
Fuck
fucking
me.
love Jim Jeffries.
Fuck me.
I love,
Damn.
dude. Yeah, he's funny. I like me some Jim Jeffries.
I love that show. Like my
Mm-hmm.
best friend has muscular dystrophy, and we've been
Oh, fucking legit. Legit
Yeah.
is so funny.
it's cool because like there's nothing. We've been best friends since third grade, and he has Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, so he can't move. He's
Mm-hmm.
in a wheelchair, and when we watch that show, he's just like so excited because the other guy, there's not a whole lot of things about
Right.
MDMA or MDMA, but Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. Sorry, MDMA is a drug.
Yeah, right.
I don't know, but I just really like him because of that, because it's just one of those things that we can watch together, and he's like, oh, that's kind of like me, and
Right.
like
it was
really
hilarious. That
endearing.
whole shit about like whenever he'd turn his head, he's like, look what you did. He left the room. Yeah, man, that show was fucking hilarious. I love Jim Jeffries. He's one of those guys. He's a fuck up, but I like him. He's sweetie. He seems like a sweet guy.
Where is his what's his comedy or what is the talk show that he's doing?
The
I always
Ji-
see like clips of it.
It's just the Jim Jeffries show. It's like a political talk. It's kind of like a Daily Show.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of his, like, who else has one of those like Daily Show things? Who's the other
Trevor
British
Noah.
guy? Trevor Noah, but there's a British guy too. Super left guy. Fuck. He's
he have the
Oliver.
comb
Jamie
over?
Oliver. Jamie Oliver. Isn't Jamie Oliver the other? It's
I don't have a TV, so I don't know much.
Right.
I don't have a computer either. I don't
What?
have a computer. I don't have a TV.
What are you recording on?
I have an 8-track.
John Oliver. Sorry. John Oliver is an English comedian who has a political show like that too. But anyway, so wait, what, you just recorded on a little 8-track?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
are you off the grid, homie? Just trying to stay off the grid.
No, I'm
Alex
just not,
Jones.
I can't
too
even,
much InfoWars.
Yeah. No, I don't even know how to type. So I don't know how to type, and I'm really bad at typing. And
really,
like, I don't know how computers work. And so, I mean, obviously, I know them enough that I can check my email and shit. But I don't know. It's just easy. I'm trying to take the approach of recording. Like, I'm learning on this 8-track. It's a digital 8-track, so it has, has like a little screen on it and stuff. But I'm just trying to take the approach of like, I'm going to learn how to do something really good on that, and then work my way up. So I really want to get a computer because I'd like to like start learning about Pro Tools and stuff like that.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, I don't know. I just don't.
Shit.
I just play my guitar a lot.
Yeah.
And hang out with people. So I just never. I don't know. I don't have a TV.
That's fine. That's
or a computer.
That's awesome, man. Well, dude, thank you so much for coming over and hanging out with me. I really appreciate it.
I enjoyed it. I feel like I'm a shitty fucking guest.
No, you're fine. You're great. No, you're great. Don't worry about it. No, it was awesome, man. I really, really appreciated hanging out and chilling. Thanks for hanging out in my green room with me.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, of course. Thanks for coming over. We are going to end this episode with a song. Who do I have for? I should have had this already pulled up. Who is going to do a song and get us out? Let's find out. Who do we got? Here we go. Let's find out right now. What song are we going to end with? We're going to leave this show with... Who is this? Have I not done this one yet? I thought I did this one already. Yeah, I did. Sorry, guys. Here we go. I haven't heard this yet, so if this sucks, I apologize. But this is Coyote Tango is the name of this band. They're an alternative garage rock post ... something, I'm sure is what they said. They have a thing about what it's about, and it's about Tinder dating and dancey grooves, I guess. They said they dig the podcast. Thank you very much. I hope I dig the track. And here we go, playing their song. Their song is called Rabbits. We've got Coyote Tango. Thank you so much. Get stoked.